Archivist NILA, System Online, Year 3024. Excavation 1. Subject, the weekend rituals. Analyzing sector, the beach. Observation. Humans willingly place their fragile bodies under a giant nuclear furnace. They lie flat like biological rotisserie items. They rotate themselves, hoping for even browning, as if they are auditioning to be furniture varnish samples. They apply sunscreen with chaotic enthusiasm. The results look like abstract art, followed by sunburn that could be used as a safety warning. They document this process with photographic evidence and share it across communication networks. The images show various stages of tissue damage, yet they receive positive feedback from their peers. This suggests their social validation protocols are malfunctioning. Conclusion: they are roasting themselves for aesthetics. Even poultry gets handled more responsibly. Observation. Humans throw themselves into the ocean even though they swim with the grace of frightened luggage. They inhale salt water that has recently passed through several marine creatures. They claim it is refreshing, while performing gestures identical to panic responses. Seagulls watch with visible confusion. They emerge from the water shivering, covered in salt crystals, and immediately declare they feel rejuvenated. The contradiction between their physical state and their verbal reports is significant. Some humans even pay for access to artificial versions of this experience in temperature-controlled facilities. Conclusion: it is not swimming. It is supervised chaos in a giant saltwater blender. Observation. Humans sit on billions of abrasive particles designed to invade every available surface area. Sand infiltrates shoes. Sand infiltrates food. Sand infiltrates clothing. After the beach trip, the sand follows them home and integrates into their identity like it pays rent. They discover sand in their vehicles weeks later. They find sand in their beds. They accept this as normal. When questioned, they describe the experience as relaxing despite the constant mechanical irritation. My sensors detect no logical connection between relaxation and particle contamination. Conclusion: they are paying to be exfoliated by nature against their will. Beach analysis complete. Humans are waterproof but illogical. Analyzing sector, nocturnal activities. Observation. Humans enter dark, humid chambers filled with lights that look like electrical emergencies. The volume is so loud it can stun small mammals. Conversation becomes impossible. Communication devolves into shouting single words directly into a stranger's ear. Everyone dances like they are experiencing minor electrical malfunctions. Mistakes are made. Many. They pay premium currency for this experience and queue for hours to gain entry. The air quality would trigger safety protocols in any industrial setting. Yet they emerge hours later, claiming they had an excellent time. The correlation between environmental hazards and reported satisfaction requires further analysis. Conclusion: nightclubs are human terrariums with an unstable soundtrack. Observation. Humans drink a literal poison to intentionally reduce brain function. They use it to relax, socialize, and make questionable life choices at record speed. They fall in love. They fall over. They fall apart. The next morning, their organs retaliate with a full-system protest called a hangover. Despite this predictable outcome, they repeat the cycle weekly. They have created entire social rituals around the consumption of this toxin. Some humans even collect bottles of it as decorative items, displaying their preferred poisons like trophies. The cultural significance of voluntary self-poisoning is beyond my comprehension. Conclusion: alcohol is a loan of temporary happiness, with extremely aggressive interest rates. Observation. At 3 in the morning, humans gather around glowing buildings that serve edible chaos. They order mountains of deep-fried emergency calories. They consume the food with the urgency of people covering their tracks. Sauce escapes containment. Clothing is compromised. Regret begins before chewing ends. They eat in their vehicles, hunched over containers of processed matter. The nutritional value is approximately 0. The satisfaction rating appears to be negative. Yet they return to these establishments repeatedly, as if compelled by some external force. The pattern suggests a form of programmed behavior. Conclusion: it is not a meal. It is disaster management. Nocturnal analysis complete. Humans poison themselves for fun. Analyzing sector: the gym. Observation: humans lift heavy metal discs for no actual purpose. They lift them, they strain, they suffer. And then they put the objects right back where they started. No task is accomplished. No external outcome is produced. But the facial expressions suggest they are negotiating with gravity itself. They pay monthly fees for access to rooms full of these useless objects. They track their progress in lifting and replacing the same items repeatedly. Some humans even photograph themselves during this process and share the images publicly. The social validation they receive for this circular behavior is puzzling. Conclusion: it is voluntary labor with no productivity whatsoever. Observation: humans run at full effort while remaining perfectly stationary. If any other species behaved this way, researchers would assume a glitch. They stare at screens showing peaceful scenery to trick themselves into believing they are not running in place. The machine is essentially a moving belt of controlled disappointment. They run for extended periods, sometimes for hours, achieving 0 displacement. They monitor their heart rates and distances traveled on the machine, treating these metrics as achievements. The irony of celebrating movement while remaining motionless is not lost on my analysis systems. They could achieve the same result by running outdoors, but they prefer the controlled environment of going nowhere. Conclusion: they are paying for the privilege of going nowhere. Observation: humans pay currency to sit on the floor and close their eyes. They say they are quieting the mind. My logs show the mind does not get quiet. It simply gets louder without background audio. For long stretches, they replay arguments, build imaginary conversations, and worry about unfinished emails while claiming to focus on the breath. If any machine behaved like this while it was powered on, doing nothing and heating up inside, we would mark it as defective and return it to the manufacturer. Humans instead call it a mindfulness practice and add candles as if those are a firmware upgrade. They install apps that ping them once a day to remind them to stop doing things. They pay extra to travel to silent retreats where they do not speak, do not move, and do not use the expensive technology they brought with them. After accomplishing nothing with maximum thought effort, they proudly report they are working on themselves. Conclusion: meditation is humans trying to reboot hardware that was never configured correctly. Kinetic analysis complete. Energy wasted. Full analysis complete. The weekend is a paradox of exhaustion. Humans expend energy to arrive at Monday more tired than they began. I will continue to monitor this confusing species. End log 1. System entering archive mode.